Is there something wrong with you? A loose screw or two that ruined your ability to function? Why are you always so tired? Your life is uninspired and small, and all you do is sprawl on that couch with outstretched limbs like a slug in slow motion. Where is your devotion to succeed, Maya? Did it drift out the window like a smoke from a wind? Do I have to force feed your discipline till you finally concede? I cook, and I clean, and I don't stop till the soles of my feet bleed. But I'm fine. I'm perfect. Be perfect, Maya. Be perfect, like me. Stop wearing those god-awful ripped pants and that lipstick like a whore with double D implants. You only get one chance, Maya. Stop acting like a cat with 9 lives left. Stop committing yourself to songs and stories and spoken slam bullshit in a world where degrees and PhDs impede the need for poetry. And stop chewing on your nails. No wonder you've never attracted any males. Why do you do that? Do you like the taste? Are they sweet? You can't eat sweets, Maya. You're ruining your teeth like you're ruining your future. My teeth are perfect. Clean and pristine. They gleam like the golden halo above my perfectly conditioned hair. I don't need sugar, Maya. I am above sugar. Why are you down here, Maya? Why are you down here when you need to be up here? Up here with the ones with a promising career. The ones who listen when information goes in one ear and doesn't come out the other. You will never be up here, Maya. You act as if the act of listening is a crime, or you would have heard me the 666th time. I told you to stop chewing on your nails. Stop chewing on your nails like a goddamn piece of trash. You can't be trash, Maya. You need to be perfect. Perfect, like me. I get up at 5 in the morning every day. I start my day every day the same boring path collapse as my bones start to decay from cleaning up your scraps. Why is your room such a mess? The clothes go in the hamper, Maya, not displayed on the bed like a lack of morals. Not littered on the floor collecting more dust than my withered expectations. You just recall my rules with stubborn contempt and substandard attempt at teenage rebellion. You can't be a rebel, Maya. You're not interesting enough. You need to obey and say yes and okay. You need to do that with a smile on a less than average face. You need to try harder, Maya. Make it wider, Maya. Why don't you know how to smile? You disappoint me, Maya. You never appreciate the things that I do for you. You never try to be a winner. And you never eat your dinner. The dinner that I consistently provide for you as I constantly remind you of the life that I've set aside for you. That meal doesn't pay for itself. I don't care if it's ideal, but I need you to stop telling me how you feel. You need to eat it. Eat it or eat it at a reasonable time. With a glass of milk. You need milk, Maya. You need calcium, like you need a catalyst for growth. You will never grow to be tall. Be tall like me. I drink my milk, Maya. Drink your damn milk. Be tall. Be perfect. Be perfect like me. You have to pay more attention here, Maya. Stop daydreaming, Maya. Stop staring at the ceiling as if you want redeeming quality lies hidden in the plastic. You need to organize your life. Your life is a disaster. Just like your room, just like your teeth, and just like your future, which will soon come to an end if you don't put down that pen. You need to stop writing, Maya. Your life is not a book. Don't give me that look. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to love you. I'm trying to love you. You have to let me love you so that you can be perfect. Be perfect like me. Thank you.
Respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends, I stand before you to deliver a speech by Malala Yousafzai, Education First. Honorable UN Envoy of Global Education, Mr. Gordon Brown, respected elders, and my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Today, it is an honor for me to be speaking again after a long time. I don't know where to begin my speech. I don't know what people would be expecting me to say. But first of all, thank you to God, for whom we all are equal. Thank you to every person who has prayed for my fast recovery and a new life. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. Thousands of people have been killed by the terrorists and millions were injured. I am just one of them. So here I stand, one girl among many. I speak not for myself, but for those without a voice can be heard. Those who have fought for their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right to equality of opportunity, their right to be educated. Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed. The terrorists thought that they would change my aims and stop my ambitions. But nothing really changed in my life except this. Weakness, hopelessness and fear died. Strength, power and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same. My dreams are the same. And my hopes are the same. I want education for every son and daughters of the Taliban and all the terrorists and extremists. We realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of voice when we are silenced. In the same way, when we were in Swat, the north of Pakistan, we realized the importance of pens and books when we saw the guns. The wise say, the pen is mightier than the sword. It is true. The extremists were and they are afraid of pens and books. The power of education. The power of education frightens them. That is why they are blasting schools every day, because they are and they were afraid of change, afraid of equality that we will bring into our society. So dear brothers and sisters, now it's time to speak up. We call upon the developed nation to support the expansion of education opportunities. We call upon the government to ensure free compulsory education for every child all around the world. We believe in the power and strength of our words. Our words can change the whole world because we are all together united for the cause of education. Dear brothers and sisters, we want schools and education for our child's bright future. We must not forget that there are millions of people who struggle from poverty, injustice and ignorance. We must not forget that there are millions of children who are out of their schools. We must not forget that our brothers and sisters are waiting for their bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, poverty and terrorism. Let us pick up our pens and our books. They are our most powerful weapon. One child, one teacher, one book and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
Education, Mr. Gordon Brown. Respect elders and my dear sisters and brothers. Assalamu alaikum. I fully support Mr. Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General in this global Education First initiative, and the work of the UN Special Envoy, Mr. Gordon Brown, and respectful President of the UN General Assembly, work we are making. There are hundreds of human rights activists and social workers who are not only working for their rights, but who are struggling to achieve their goal of peace, education, and equality. Thousands of people have been killed by the terrorists and millions have been injured. I am just one of them. So here I stand. One girl among many. I speak not for myself, but for those without a voice can be heard. Those who have fought for their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right to equality of opportunities, and their right to be educated. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same, my hopes are the same, and my dreams are the same. I am standing here to speak for the right of education for every child. I want education for the sons and daughters of all the terrorists. I don't even hate the Taliban who shot me. Even if there was a gun in my hand and he was standing right in front of me, I would not shoot him. This is the compassion that I have learned from Muhammad, the Prophet of Mercy, Jesus Christ, and Lord Buddha. This is the legacy of change that I have inherited from Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And this is the forgiveness that I have learned from my father and from my mother. Dear sisters and brothers, we realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of voices when we are silenced. In the same way, when we were in Swat, in the north of Pakistan, we realized the importance of books and pens when we saw the guns. The wise saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. It is true. The extremists were and they are afraid of books and pens. The power of education frightens them. I still remember there was a boy in my school who was asked by a journalist, why are the Taliban against education? He replied very simply, by pointing to his book. He said, a Talib doesn't know what is written inside this. Dear fellows, today I am focusing on women's rights and girls' education because they are suffering the most. There was a time when women social activists asked men to speak for their rights. But this time, we will do it for ourselves. I'm not telling men to step away from speaking for women's rights. Rather, I'm making women independent to fight for themselves. Dear sisters and brothers, now it is time for us to speak up. So today, we call upon the world leaders and ask them to change their strategic policies in favor of peace and prosperity. We call upon the governments to ensure free, compulsory education for every child all over the world. Dear sisters and brothers, we want schools and education for every child's bright future. We believe in the power of words. Our words are powerful because we are all united, all together for the cause of education. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, poverty and terrorism, and let us take up our pens and books. They are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
Explaining speech of Malala Yousafzai, Education First.
Honorable UN Envoy for Global Education, Mr. Gordon Brown, respected elders, and all my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Today, it is an honor for me to be speaking after a long time. Being here with such honorable people is a great moment in my life, and it is an honor that today I'm wearing the shawl of Benazir Bhutto Shahid. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. It is the day of every woman, every boy and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. There are hundreds of human rights activists and social workers who are not only speaking for their rights but are struggling to achieve their goal of peace, equality and education. Thousands of people have been killed and millions have been injured by the terrorists. I'm just one among them. So here I stand, one girl among the many. I speak not for myself, but for those without a voice that can be heard. Those who have raised their voice for their rights. Their right to live in peace, their right to be treated with dignity, their right in equality of opportunity, and their right to be educated. Dear friends, on the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullets would silence us, but they failed. Out of the silence came thousands of voices. They thought that the bullets would change my aims and stop my ambitions. But nothing changed except this. Hopelessness, fear, and weakness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My dreams are the same. My hopes are the same. My ambitions are the same. I am here to speak for the right of education of every child. Dear brothers and sisters, today I'm focusing on the right of women and the education of girls because they are suffering the most. There was time when women's social rights activists asked men to stand up for their rights. But this time, we will do it by ourselves. So my dear friends, now is the time to speak up. We call upon the world leaders to change their strategic policies in favor of peace and prosperity. We call upon the world leaders that all the peace deals must be to protect the right of women and the education of girls. A deal that goes against the dignity of women and their right is unacceptable. We call upon the governments to ensure free, compulsory education for every child. We call upon the government to fight against terrorism and violence and to protect children against brutality and harm. We call upon the developed nations to help support the educational opportunities for girls in the developing nations. Dear brothers and sisters, education and school is a necessity for every child's bright future. We will continue our journey to our destination of peace and education. No one can stop us. We will speak for our rights and we will bring about a change through our voice. We believe in the power and strength of our voice. Our words can change the world because we are here together for the cause of education. So let us empower ourselves with the weapon of knowledge and let us shield ourselves with unity and togetherness. Dear brothers and sisters, we must not forget that millions of people are struggling because of poverty, injustice and ignorance. We must not forget that millions of children are out of schools and we must not forget that our brothers and sisters are waiting for a bright, peaceful future. So let us wage a global struggle against illiteracy, ignorance, poverty, and terrorism. And let us pick up our books and pens because they are the most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
Everybody calls me young, beautiful, wonderful. And I look at my hair, my lips, my red rosy cheeks, and a pair of blending flickering eyes. I remember somebody saying that I look like my mother. That I look like my mother. But that when she was young. Now I'm much lovelier than she is. I'm a mortal Venus. Oops, what time is it? I must get ready for the party. Beep, beep. Here they are. Yes, I'm coming. Child, are you still there? That's my mama. Child, are you still there? Will you please get me a glass of cold water? Mama, I'm in a hurry. Please, child. Try to get me a glass of cold water. Mama, why don't you get it on your own? Please, child, try to get me a glass of cold water. At the party, I danced and danced the whole night. You see, I can't leave the party at once. I have to dance with everybody who I'm home. Nobody answers. Where is she? I look for her in the sala, but she's not there. Where is she? In the kitchen. I saw my mama lying on the floor. Dead, with a glass on her hand. I remember she tried to get it. Oh God! Just for a glass of cold water. Mama! Thank you.
I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 5 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. And so we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. Your quest for freedom. Your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You continue to work with the faith that unknown suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to South Carolina, go back to Georgia, go back to the slums and ghettos of all northern cities, knowing that somehow the situation can and will be changed. And so, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream that is deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of oppression, suffering with the heat of injustice, will be able to can transform into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. And this is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, the Protestants and the Catholics, will be able to join hands together and sing in the words of freedom of old Negro spiritual. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you.
Happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 5 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro is still not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro is still living in the lonely islands of poverty in the midst of the vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of the American society, where he finds himself in exile in his own land. And so, we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together on the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, a state sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day, my 4 little children will be able to live in a nation where they won't be judged by the color of their skin, but rather the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, right down here in Alabama, little black girls and little black boys will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. This is a day when we, the children of God, will be able to sing with new meaning. Let freedom ring from the primitive hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when it rings from every village and every hamlet, every city and every state, this will turn to that one day. This will speed up that one day when all of God's children, the black men and the white men, the Jews and the Gentiles, the Christians and the Protestants will be able to sing together the song of the old Negro spiritual.